Let me tell you something. Somebody who says Ronnie Gilley's a greedy guy has never met Ronnie Gilley. Ronnie Gilley's a broke guy because I'm never going to be a wealthy guy because I give it all away. I truly believe in an equitable distribution of wealth, and I believe in an equitable distribution of opportunity. You know, the principles of that this great country was founded upon is a free enterprise system and an entrepreneurial spirit. And that's what we do. But I also believe in a greater good for my fellow man and mankind. You know, just do a little research. You're not going to find anyone who truly knows Ronnie Gilley says Ronnie Gilley's greedy. You're not going to find it. There's a few of them standing here right now that will strongly debate that with anyone. What does he do?
What happens next?
He creates a monopoly. He closes Country Crossing down, and he creates an absolute monopoly for the Native Americans in Alabama, as I just explained to you. No matter what he says in this letter, look at the letter, and then look at what the law says.
Right.
This is being disingenuous with our legislators. He's telling the legislators, hey, not only am I going to close down Victory Land and Country Crossing and Whitehall, and I'm going to close down the Native Americans too, because we do have jurisdiction. No, you do not. Look at the letter that he wrote, and then look at the law, and see how disingenuous he's been. So what does he do? He creates a monopoly for the Native Americans, and the state of Alabama doesn't get one dime out of it. Now, you know, Governor Riley obviously, you know, feels as if it's something great for the state. He's not going to eliminate gaming in Alabama. He's not going to eliminate bingo in Alabama.
His press secretary, Todd Stacy, was quoted in an article in Sunday's Mobile Press Register saying, I think having a country music theme park is a wonderful idea. I love country music. I think a lot of people do. You don't have to have gambling to do it. Your thoughts?
You know, obviously, Governor Riley's press secretary, Todd Stacy, has been a press secretary for far too long, or has headed up political campaigns for far too long, because he, just as the governor, is out of touch with reality. To say that we don't need bingo as part of this project, number one, Todd Stacy nor the governor nor anyone else in his office has came and looked at this project. So he doesn't know the economic scope of this project. You know, how could he say that, for one thing, when he doesn't even know the dynamics that are associated with it? You can't go in and build a $12 million dinner theater, Tim, and expect to operate in the black the day you open the doors. We anticipate, with all of these venues, that's just one venue. You know, we anticipate a red operational period with respect to our entertainment venues for 3, possibly up to 7 years. There has to be an economic catalyst that will drive this entertainment dynasty home and will truly create a world-class country music entertainment extravaganza, because that's what we're going to have. We've said it since day one, and we're going to bring it to fruition. We've not backed up on one single thing that we've said. If you go back over the last 2 years, when we say we're going to do something, we do it. But there has to be a catalyst. In the beginning, the catalyst was ancillary residential retirement spinoff. You know, Mr. Stacy obviously doesn't know what's going on in the financial market today, because it's impossible to get any type funding almost, but certainly not for a speculative real estate project, certainly not for a speculative real estate / entertainment project, and he's just completely out of touch with reality. You know, he's accustomed to sending out press releases. The state of Alabama has ThyssenKrupp, German steel manufacturing company, coming into Mobile to create 1,700 jobs. And it's all great and wonderful. But what Mr. Stacy fails to tell the citizens of Alabama, once again, is you, me, and everybody that's out here working today and paying their taxes into the state of Alabama, we gave that German steel manufacturer $850 million to come into our state and create jobs. So we bought jobs from a foreign entity. Okay, so my question to Mr. Stacy, when he says I don't need bingo to do my project, did the state of Alabama have to give ThyssenKrupp $850 million to get them to come build a facility in Mobile, Alabama? That's the question Mr. Stacy needs to answer. You know, he's an economic whiz and an economic genius. Tell me, come show me, come look at my project. Because you refuse to come down here thus far. Come look at my project and you show me an alternative route. And if that alternative route is you're going to give me $850 million to build this project, end of story. hey, we're ready to go right now. But to just keep on sending out propaganda and innuendo is wrong. It's disingenuous with the citizens of Alabama. You know, my political advisors are having heart attacks right now because they're saying, be quiet, you don't need to talk. You just sit back and let politics work itself out. That's what's wrong with our country today, is politics, politics, politics. We're trying to bring something great into our community, into this sector of the state, and it's a crying shame that the basis of democracy are just being ignored here. So, again, Mr. Stacey, was it possible for ThyssenKrupp to come into Alabama without us giving them $850 million? Or was it possible to get any of these foreign automobile manufacturers to come into our state without giving them, you know, in excess of $1 billion over the last 10 years of Alabama taxpayer money? That's what's wrong with our state. That's why we're busted today. We're not asking for anything. What do we plan to do? We plan on creating $450 million in tax revenue over the next 10 years. We're going to help replenish those tax coffers. We're going to put 6,000 people to work. You know, give us a break. Such a project and the national spotlight that has been shed on our state because of this project, that the state or the governor has not embraced it with open arms. And he hasn't come in and said, hey, what can we do to help? The governor's never called me and said, hey, can we sit down and see if there are any other options out there? You know, I know you have a constitutional right that says you can play electronic bingo. He doesn't even know what this project is. So, no, I'm not taking it personal. They've made it personal. They've attacked me personally with propaganda and innuendo, and they've thrown up roadblock after roadblock after roadblock for our different investment groups. And they've slowed us down. The sad thing, Tim, this project should have been open 9 months ago, and instead of employing 1,200 people, we should already have over 2,800 people working. So we've not received any assistance, but we've not asked for any either. All we're asking is that, hey, just let us exercise our constitutional right. We have an amendment in place, and it's been here for quite some time now, that allows us to have a bingo pavilion. The difference in our bingo pavilion is it is a synergized cost structure that guarantees an expansion of trade and commerce like we've never seen before in this part of the state, if not this part of the daggum country.
Their jobs depend on welfare from the state and even turn to theft.
Wow. Wow. You know, again, Mr. Stacey is spreading innuendo and propaganda, because there's no validity to that statement whatsoever. And if you want to talk about crime, let me tell you what crime is associated with, and that is lack of revenue. That's lack of a job. You want to see our crime rate rise, which it already is? Let more and more people become unemployed. Some people at certain times, at desperate times, take desperate measures to put food on the table for their families. And when a man doesn't have a job and he's got kids to feed, in certain cases they resort to crime. So if you want to see the crime rate start to incline in Alabama, which again they already are, keep putting people out of work. Keep telling people, hey, we got to send you home for 2 weeks during the holidays with no pay. You know, most people live week to week. They can't go without a paycheck for 2 weeks. And that's when crime rates go up. Obviously, again, Mr. Stacey is out of touch with reality. You know, electronic formats of bingo have been played in Alabama since 1989 by the Native Americans, and non-Native American entities have been playing electronic formats of bingo here since 1992. Now that's a fact, and it's going to stay here regardless of what the governor does.